A combination of need, perfect timing, and interagency cooperation will result in better fishing at Fort Scott Lake this spring and for coming years. Don George, fisheries biologist for Fort Scott, took advantage of circumstances to create much-needed new habitat in an aging lake. This lake supports good bass and crappie populations, but habitat for these species had declined over time and needed enhancement. Fort Scott has participated in the CFAP, or Community Fisheries Assistance Program, since it began, and like most such community lakes, it gets heavy pressure from anglers. A goal of Kansas Wildlife Parks and Tourism is to make fishing better and to create good fish habitat within easy reach of shoreline anglers as well as for those with boats. So this fall, when Bourbon County Game Warden Jim Bissoni spotted a Kansas Department of Transportation project clearing trees along a local road, KDWPT workers and the city of Fort Scott's Todd Farrell teamed up for a deal with KDOT to dump the trees at Fort Scott Lake to be turned into fish habitat later. While George was rounding up materials and scheduling the habitat efforts, he got an unexpected break. Bob Reinmund of the Grundfos Pumps Corporation in Olathe called and volunteered a whole crew for a day of free labor. The Grundfos Corporation believes in volunteer projects and pays its workers each year for 2 days of volunteer projects it deems worthy to help local communities. So on the appointed work day, more than a dozen Grundfos workers arrived on a chartered bus with food, drink, and teamwork to complement the workforce already assembled by Kansas Wildlife Parks and Tourism and the city of Fort Scott. That resulted in more than 80 boatloads, about 300 trees worth of brush, sunk for fish habitat at selected locations in Fort Scott Lake. Everyone was a winner. KDOT saved time and money by quick local disposal of cut trees. KDWPT got free trees for habitat delivered to the site. Grundfos felt it was a worthwhile project for their volunteer community program. And Fort Scott got improved habitat and fishing for this spring at the city lake. That's about as good as it gets. Thanks to everyone who helped with this valuable project. I'm Mike Blair for Kansas Wildlife Parks and Tourism.